The most awkward thing in a Dungeons & Dragons game, especially for inexperienced players, is usually the first few sessions. Why? Because you feel forced to have to like a character or forced to follow these strangers because the story calls for it, but you have no real reason to. And to make it worse, something I see often is that players like to make edgelord characters that are standoffish and simply aren't created to work well with others. So let's talk about how to get a party of characters to actually start working together, or shall I say it, liking each other. Now, an adventuring party is a strange thing because essentially you meet somebody at a bar. Let's say tonight you meet somebody, and then you discover there's a problem that needs solving. So you hang out with that person, and realistically, a group of people for the next few weeks or months or years. And in the real world, you would just say, that sucks, we should call the police. It just doesn't happen. And as a dungeon master, it's your job to get through those barriers quickly, to help with that immersion, and to just get the story moving forward. So here are some tips that I think help me with that awkward beginning phase. Now, the first key is to make them come together narratively. Everyone traveling on a boat or a train together is going to make it easier for the characters to digest that there is already some shared commonality. Making them step off a boat onto the docks for the first time in weeks, or they are traveling in a caravan together and they just arrived at the city gates. This gives them a reason to be in the same place at the same time rather than just telling them, you're all in a bar right now and you see Amelia over there giving you a weird look. I'm not saying it doesn't work, it just gets old. Now, the second tip is to have pre-existing relationships. This one is big because you can get around a lot of that awkwardness simply by having some of the players already know each other. It could be as simple as childhood friends or former comrades or even family members. These connections can actually provide immediate reasons for the characters to trust and care for one another. And as a pro tip, pairing an inexperienced player with an experienced player can help a lot with this because the new player doesn't feel so forced and the veteran player can help move some of the conversations along while the newbie gets their bearings. These also make for great threads to pull on as a DM while giving players something to build off of when role-playing. Trust me, having someone at your side makes the role-playing a lot easier, especially when you're new. The third way to get the party to work together is to give them no other option. And what I mean is that maybe they're the only survivors of a shipwreck, or they wake up trapped in a dungeon with no way out but through cooperation, like some fucked up fantasy saw. When your player characters have no choice but to rely on each other, bonds can form quickly, regardless of where they come from, or what their goals are, or their backgrounds, or whatever. In these kinds of dire situations, characters are forced to confront their differences and work together to survive, and that helps create a sort of sense of mutual dependence. And as they work together to escape the danger or to solve those problems, they develop a sense of camaraderie that just comes naturally and respect that can carry over into the rest of the campaign. And if you want to go the creepy or dangerous dungeon route or something like that, you can always help bring that session to life with Describe. So to help you find out what Describe is, here's 15 to 30 seconds of cool ambient sounds I found. Just close your eyes. Imagine the setting. Go ahead. See, Describe has thousands of ambient sounds just like that, and songs, and pre-generated text descriptions if you're in a hurry, and maps, all ready for the whole table with only one subscription. It's pretty damn cool. So click the link in the description and use my code FANTASYFORGE at checkout. Now, the fourth tip is to create shared character goals or motivations. When the characters have a common mission or an objective that they are all trying to achieve, they are way more likely to work together and bond. Now, this can be something like protecting a village from monsters, or becoming witnesses to a murder or a conspiracy, or even just knowing the same person or looking for the same artifact in the town that they're in. If you have two players who both have a personal vendetta against the same big baddie, this is going to help them get on that same page faster. And this sense of purpose gives the characters a reason to collaborate and align their efforts towards a common end. And ultimately, shared objectives also just give clear direction for the group, which helps get those awkward moments out of the way after a session or two. Now, fifth, this one really comes down to you as a DM, and that's to give them moments to roleplay. This doesn't mean that you need to leave it all up to them. You can bring an NPC over to them and talk to them. I see you two seem to not talk much. What's up? That's a great way to make them roleplay. Ask them questions, prod a little bit to break the ice. What's with the scar? I like your sword. These are all tiny little cues to the players to get them to think about their characters, and the faster you get them roleplaying, the less weird it is as the game goes on. Now, number 6 is to introduce an external threat. If you want to start in the action, make them all part of the same platoon of soldiers fighting in the trenches, or have them all witness the same murder, or the same troll rampaging through the city. This spurs them to action because, after all, they are the main characters characters and they want to kill things and loot bodies and get gold. An external threat is a quick and easy way to force them together suddenly, and then it's easy to have a guard or NPC come up to them asking them questions, or wanting to get a witness statement, or hire them, or let them know that they got involved in the wrong town. This is considered hard railroading, and honestly sometimes it's necessary at the beginning, and as the session goes on and as the game goes on, you can ease up on the reins in a little bit. And finally, number 7, set the expectations at the beginning. Like, I get it, sometimes you get tired of the tropes and you want there to be that natural sort of meshing, but not all players are built the same way, and they're not all going to go down that route, and sometimes you need to talk to the players before the game ever starts and say, hey, here are the 4 expectations for every character, no matter what you choose, and just let them know that one of the rules is that no matter what, they need to be willing to work together, or that the campaign is going to be about this and that, and they need to be willing to follow those guidelines. You'd be surprised at how setting that precedent from the very beginning can actually make the players find their own solutions simply through role-playing. And now it's time for some quick shoutouts. Hematite says, surprise kitty. Honestly, is seeing a kitten ever not a surprise? Kieran Bingley, 5981 says, the cutest little kitten is hiding at 219. I've only just begun writing my first campaign, and I'm so excited to share it with my friends, and seeing their excitement when building their characters got me hyped as well. Love the vibes all around. Honestly, I agree, making characters and watching them come to life with your party is probably the best thing about being a DM. Ocean Lizard says, this got my own kitten super curious. It was cute. Honestly, that melts my heart. I'm super glad that Tobias was able to make a little friend somewhere out there. Now, if you were paying attention in today's video, leave a timestamp in the comments down below with where you saw Tobias in this video. And yes, he was there. And you just might get shouted out in the next video. Anyways, I hope that helps. If you think I forgot something, leave it in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what weird ways you got your party to finally start to mesh together naturally. As always, thank you for watching. For John, my friends, and we'll see you next time, adventurers.